And so I would like to ask Angela and Evamaria, what would you do with the monument?
Okay. Hi again. This is Evamaria and I'm Angela. I will talk a little bit about the intervention that we planned to do at the memorial. We developed it for the 200th Jubilee of Gregor Mendel at the Mendel Memorial. And our project aims to highlight the memorial site that looks at the moment very gray and abandoned, as you could see on the photos. It is an intervention at the space of the memorial and wants to connect the beginnings of genetics as a science in the days of Gregor Mendel to the discourses that exist around genetic technologies today. For this, we wanted to connect the space of the memorial with a space where genetic research takes place today. So we went looking for a place like this. We visited the experimental fields of the BOKU in Tulln, as well as the GMI, the Gregor Mendel Institute, and the IMBA, the Institute of Molecular Biotechnology at the BioCenter Vienna. And we did interviews with scientists and technicians in both places, and also recorded sounds in these locations. At this point, I want to thank Audrun Middleston, who is also will also talk here today, for taking the time to be our interview partner, together with Yasin Daktash, her colleague. So many thanks to you again. And also, of course, to Dr. Vollmann, who helped us in so many ways with our project. When visiting the BioCenter, we were especially interested in the tools and methods used in genetics nowadays, especially the technology of CRISPR that is widely used. We also visited the phenotyping laboratory and the CLIP supercomputer, which are part of the facility. And with this, I also want to thank Onni Zimmermann, the head technician of CLIP, and Jakob Yates, the head of the phenotyping laboratory, who were kind enough to host us and show us their facilities. So as a space that stands for genetics today, that we want to link with the memorial in our project, we finally chose the CLIP supercomputer at the BioCenter, which is the technological base for working with big data sets that are created and used in genetic research, and also within CRISPR technology. So for our project, we took the outlines of the CLIP. It's situated in two rather small rooms in the BioCenter. And we wanted to install the outlines of those rooms at the site of the memorial. We chose the outlines because the outlines of the memorial itself, seen from above, they look like a cell. You can see it here. The middle part, this middle ring, is symbolizing the core of the cell with the DNA, and the round elements around it, these are their walls and benches, and they stand for the walls of the cell. The straight line of the benches, the diagonal one, stands for the RNA, which is just leaving the core of the cell, and exactly. And the other lines that you can see, the bold ones, are the outlines of the CLIP. Exactly. And so we wanted these outlines to invade the cell somehow. We took the outlines of the CLIP and imported them into the structure of the memorial. And for this, we used fences that are used in construction sites, and we covered them with a blue net. The blue net stands for the blue contrast foil that it is used at the phenotyping laboratory to enable the image detection software to recognize and analyze the plants that are grown in the laboratory. So the plants are put in front of this, or beyond, under the plants, they put this contrast foil, which is blue, and so that the computer can recognize the plants and analyze them and their shapes. So what we try to do with our intervention, is that the outlines of the clip invade the cell, and they create some kind of a maze that allows or forces the visitor to look at the cell from a different perspective than usual. The outlines of the clip also cut into the cell, sort of, which is the connection to the CRISPR technology. So the cell is nowadays, you could say, under construction. What you can't see here is that the blue net was meant to contain texts that stem from our research and poetic texts that were inspired by the project. And those texts would have been printed on the net. So it would have been like a space where visitors can just walk around, read the texts, and just enjoy the perspective, and also put attention to the space and make people want to go there and explore it. The invasion of the memorial that we planned was also meant to take place on a second level, namely the acoustic one. Moving in the maze, the visitor hears a soundscape that features the sounds that were collected in field recordings at the BioCenter, but also on the fields in Tulln, the experimental fields at the BOKU. And Eva is telling you a little bit about the soundscapes because she is the creator of the soundscapes.
So the main soundscape consists solely of sounds produced by the CLIP supercomputer. And for recording them, I used 3 different techniques. I used stereo microphones to capture like the main, the general room sound of the computer, of the servers, but also of the ventilation there. Contact microphones for the more vibrating sounds or the vibrations these machines produce. And also coil pickups, which are used for electromagnetic recording, for picking up the electronic signals of the machines. And I used these sounds in their original form, but I also sampled them for like, yeah, getting a more melodic lines for the structure of the piece.
Our installation was planned to be at the memorial from the date of the first publication of Gregor Mendel. I think it was March the 8th, if I remember correctly. And it would have lasted until his birthday in July, the 22nd, I think. Was meant to be, is my expression for telling you, unfortunately, we didn't get funding from the city of Vienna for the project because the jury liked the project formally, but they thought that it was not critical enough towards modern day genetics. And this is, they told us, they were kind enough to tell us that informally, which they wouldn't have to do, but at least they gave us this information. Yeah, so we will not be able to implement the installation as planned. And of course, we are very sad about this, that it didn't work out, but we are very happy to have the opportunity to at least present it here today. And also there will be a second Mendel walk which will take place in situ. And we will do a little lecture performance there. I think, Dr. Vollmann, you could show us the simulation, because this we now miss. We did a simulation for the proposal that we had to prepare for the city of Vienna for the funding. We did a little video to show the jury what it would look like and how it would be to move inside of this of the installation. As you can see, the elements of the memorial are, it's like you stand directly before them, you don't have the overview, so you don't really know what's happening. And this is kind of, I think, for common people, maybe also, or also if you go deeper into the whole thing with research, it's very hard to somehow get an overview about the whole problematic, and also it's very it has a lot of twists and angles, and it's just very the whole thing is very complicated topic. Yeah. This was basically it. What we will be doing in summer, I show you on the next slide, I think. You have at the central column of the memorial, there is a plate that reminds of Gregor Mendel, which is here highlighted blue. And we plan to sort of form a blue ribbon that somehow contrasts this memorial plate. And since the column has two more sides, we created two more plates. One plate will remind of the female pioneers in genetics. Their situation was also very precarious, as Gregor Mendel's. If you know his biography a little bit better, they both had to fight their way through, through the field. And at the time the memorial was built in 1953 or 4, a lot of discrimination against female researchers was actually still happening. And as far as I know, or as far as I think, still goes on today, but maybe the researchers know this better than me. I don't know, just from what I read. And the third plate that we created, it shall remind of the ethic responsibility that we have as humans if we interfere with the genomes of plants, animals, and humans. With our little project, we as artists hope to make like a humble contribution to the discourse that is happening around genetic technologies today. And we hope that scientists are included in creating practical and effective ethic guidelines for the use of genetic technologies. Yeah, this was our part, so to say. This was our idea how we would change the memorial, or what we would like to do. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Great, thanks a lot, Angela and Evamaria. It's very, very important that science will speak to the public, and by such a monument, this could be achieved. And I have to say, you told us how your project was rejected by the jury in Vienna. So I can only summarize: Vienna is a city of beauty. Vienna is a city of arts. Vienna is a city of science, and Vienna is a city of ignorance. But well, we will move on, and we will see how we can change together, or with your help, mainly with your help, how this monument can be a bit more centered and can be a bit more communicative in some way. Thanks, and we have to move further